Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone.
Welcome back to Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank podcast. I'm the host of this podcast, Lane Frank, and I'm not gonna lie, we got an action-packed episode in this one. Lincoln Riley left for USC, Brian Kelly left for Notre Dame. This is the conference championship week in college football. MLB free agency is going crazy right now. So is college football, coaching free agency pretty much. NFL week was great, and so much more. Stay tuned. Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank, episode 59. Let's hop into it. Let's start with episode 59, how we always do, with the headlines in the NBA. There's a lot to talk about in the NBA right now. Lakers, everybody, they're 11-11. That is not a championship winning team. You know, you say going into the season, you have LeBron James, you have Russell Westbrook, you have Anthony Davis. All three players have been MVP candidates in their career. Two of them have won MVPs, LeBron and Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis was an MVP candidate in 2018. They are 11-11 right now. That is impossible to fathom. This is a really rough team. I think they're going to get rid of Westbrook by the trade deadline. They're going to get some of them. I mean, they would have been better off with that Buddy Hield deal. They would have. I mean, because remember, it was all talk Kuzma for Buddy Hield. Yeah, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, all that. No. They decided to get Russell Westbrook, and everyone's like, oh, we got the Lakers. Oh, it's going to be fun again this year. No. You can argue this is worse. This team is worse than that 2018 Cavs team. Because that 2018 Cavs team, they had some good players. They had Kevin Love. They had Jordan Clarkson. They had Rodney Hood. They had Larry Nance Jr. And LeBron brought them to the finals. I don't think LeBron could bring this team to the finals. He didn't bring last year's Lakers team to the finals. This is the West. This isn't the lousy East like it was in 2018 with LeBron's Cavs. This Lakers team's struggling a lot right now. A lot. I want to move into another topic in the NBA right now. The Portland Trail Blazers, everybody, they're even worse than the Lakers. They're 10-11. Now, I'm not saying Damian Lillard's the Lakers, but there's a real possibility Damian Lillard's out of this team by the trade deadline, and he's not going to be on this team next year. That's a given. He doesn't like Chauncey Billups' play style. I mean, 10-11. The Blazers are right now. Damian Lillard's not having his best season. You can blame it on the basketball. You can blame it on anything else. But you can flat out say it. It's Portland. That's why. Okay, you probably want out of Portland because you can't track to any stars Portland. He tried to get Draymond Green. He was actively recruiting during the Olympics, trying to get guys to Portland. But Draymond Green, he's not leaving Gold State, where they have the best record in the NBA right now. You know, keep Damian Lillard from Oakland. Why wouldn't he want to go to the Warriors? Why wouldn't he want to go to the New York Knicks? Why wouldn't he want to go to the Philadelphia 76ers? Why wouldn't he want to go to the Los Angeles Lakers? That's the question today. I think Damian Lillard gets out of his team. Portland, you really messed this whole situation up. And yeah, Damian Lillard's trade value maybe gone down a little bit. He's getting older by the day, pretty much. Okay, Damian Lillard, a lot of stuff going on in the NBA right now. That's about for the NBA headlines. Let's talk about the NFL, where we had an action-packed week. Starting off with Thanksgiving football. The Cowboys, what a game that was, okay? First off, Tony Pollard had a kick return touchdown. Dak Prescott played pretty well. Defense wasn't that great, and that's why they lost that game, okay? It was the PI penalty at the end. Just Raiders defense showed up. Raiders offense showed up. Derek Carr played pretty well in that game. Getting a win, a much-needed win for that team. To keep their playoff hopes alive, what a win that was by the Las Vegas Raiders. What's your takeaway from that game? Is it more on the Cowboys losing, or is it more on the Raiders winning? Leave your answer in the comments section. I think it's more on the Cowboys losing that one. They let that one slip, in my opinion. They did. That's my take on the Cowboys-Raiders game. But the Rams, everybody, they go into the frozen tundra. And I think I picked the Rams last week. I'm saying Rams from Chips. And then Matthew Stafford throws his third game with a pick six. That's horrible. You can argue that's worse than Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford probably has been worse than Jared Goff. You can say, oh, maybe people just found out Sean McVay's system. No. Truth is, Matthew Stafford likes to throw the ball. You can always say, oh, it was always the receivers in Detroit. It was always he didn't have enough protection, everything like that. No. He's one of the best offensive line in the NFL right now. He has probably the best receiving core in the NFL right now, you could argue. You got Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp could win like MVP this year, you never know. But a lot of stuff going on with the Rams right now. 8-4. I know that's a good record, but there's a realistic chance they miss the playoffs this year. There is. Here's another team who could definitely miss the playoffs this year. It's the New Orleans Saints, everybody. New Orleans Saints could easily miss the playoffs this year. This team is below 500. I got a segment coming up later about where I think Sean Payton, maybe his next move might be. College football, NFL, whatever it might be. This Saints team's struggling right now. They made the move this week to make Taysom Hill the starter, but I mean, this is a horrible decision from the start. Why start Trevor Siemian when you had Taysom Hill last year's starting quarterback and you want to ever get him but one? But you say, hey, let's start Trevor Siemian instead, who who has never had a winning record in his NFL career, who isn't a good quarterback, has never shown to be a good NFL quarterback. I don't even know why he's even a backup quarterback in the NFL right now. He's not a good quarterback right now. Trevor Siemian. Jacob Eason, I would take over my starting quarterback over Trevor Siemian. I love Jacob Eason. I always talk about Jacob Eason on the show when remember the Colts training camp talks, everything like that. But, this Saints team struggling a lot right now. 5-6 got blown out. You can say, oh, Sean Payton's going to get his guys right. Yeah, but Taysom Hill's going to be the starting quarterback of this team. You're not going to win that division. The Panthers are struggling, so you're probably going to come in second now, but Falcons creeping up there in that division. Buccaneers obviously going to run away with it. A lot of stuff going on in that New Orleans Saints franchise right now, in that locker room. Leave your answer in the comment section. What do you think New Orleans Saints' final record in the NFL will be? Do you think they make the playoffs? Do you think someone else happens? Do you think they're bringing Phillip Rivers? Whatever it might be. Leave your answer in the comment section. Who will be the Saints starting quarterback next year? Leave your answer in the comment section. Cam Newton, everybody. He's not back. Okay, I said it last offseason. Everybody, Cam Newton's post hype videos. Everyone's like, oh, Cam Newton's back. Cam Newton's back. He's going to be great for the Patriots this year. And then gets cut by the Patriots. And I told everybody in March, don't buy into Cam Newton. Don't buy into Cam Newton. And I said, I'm not buying into Cam Newton. I'm not doing it anymore. So, gets signed by the Panthers, has 2 touchdowns in that game. And I bought into Cam Newton. I flat out bought into Cam Newton. And Cam Newton looked like the worst quarterback in the NFL last week. He looked worse than Trevor Siemian did. He was 5 of 21. 2 interceptions. Did he even have 100 passing yards? I don't think so. Looked horrible on the ground. Cam Newton, you're not going to be a starting quarterback this team next year. You are not a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. I would take Jacob Eason over you. I would take Mitchell Trubisky over you. I would take Matt Barkley over you, Cam Newton. I would. Cam Newton, not looking like a good quarterback in the NFL right now. Looking like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe it's Matt Rule's system. Maybe it's something else. But this Panthers team got a lot to figure out. Christian McCaffrey's going to be out for the rest of the season. That's a big breaker for that team. This team is not making the playoffs. I'll take Sam Darnold over Cam Newton. I'll take P.J. Walker over Cam Newton. And that's saying a lot right there. P.J. Walker's not a good NFL quarterback at all. Cam Newton looked horrible last week. Looked flat horrible. Don't ever buy into the Cam Newton hype again. I'm not. I said it last offseason. I wasn't going to ever buy into again. And I bought into again. But I'm done with Cam Newton. You're done. Cam Newton will never, ever be. I don't think he should ever be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. He doesn't have it. We all buy into his hype. He has 1 good game, and that's it. Cam Newton is not back, everybody. And that has shown. The Bengals, everybody, they are back, though. After a couple of back-to-back losses, Bengals, they beat the Raiders, and they got a great win this week over the Steelers. I said, it's going to be a close game. The Steelers are going to pull this one out. Mike Tomlin's going to win this game. No. They looked worse than they did in that first game against the Bengals, because that first game against the Bengals this season, earlier in the season, Steelers got blown out. They got demolished in this one. They didn't just get blown. They got crushed. They got their soul crushed in that game. The Steelers team doesn't have an identity right now. They really don't. They can't run the ball with Najee Harris. They definitely can't throw the ball. Ben Roethlisberger, and they can't play defense. No matter what, they can't play defense. The Steelers team got a lot of stuff to figure out. Pittsburgh Steelers, but a lot of stuff going on there. But let's go over to a division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, Lamar Jackson threw 4 interceptions. This team's good enough to where if Lamar Jackson throws 4 interceptions, this team can pick it back up. There's all those memes. Oh, Mark Andrews down there somewhere, but Mark Andrews looking like one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Lamar Jackson looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, despite the 4 interception game. Because Lamar Jackson is one of the very few NFL quarterbacks who can throw 4 interceptions in an NFL game and still win that game. I know it's against the Cleveland Browns, who are atrocious right now, Cleveland Browns. We're going to have a Browns segment coming up here in a couple minutes about how my take on the Browns was right. They're not a playoff team, but we're going to have that coming up later. But Cleveland Browns, not looking great. Baltimore Ravens got a great win on Sunday Night Football. Let's move to our last team talk about here in the headlines. The Seattle Seahawks, everybody. This is officially a bad bottom 10 football team. Pete Carroll's not looking like a great coach. This could be the last year ever as an NFL head coach. He could, as a head coach in football. Russell Wilson is not cooking. He doesn't have anything. He's going to be a New York Giant quarterback next year. He's going to be a quarterback of a new team next year. There's a lot of teams need a quarterback next year. Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback of one of them. I can believe that. No debate about. But the Seahawks team's struggling right now. It might have been on Russell Wilson that loss. It might have been. There's a lot of stuff going on in that locker room with the Seattle Seahawks that we don't know about. But Seattle Seahawks struggling a lot right now. I want to move over to the MLB. We haven't done a lot of MLB on this show the past couple months, but there's a lot going on in MLB right now. MLB free agency has picked up. I want to start out with Javier Baez leaving the New York Mets to go to the Detroit Tigers. It hurts me, but you think about it. Eduardo Escobar, Starling Marte, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer. I would take all of those guys over Javier Baez. I know they don't play the same position. I know Max Scherzer's pitcher and all that, but I would sacrifice Javier Baez for Eduardo Escobar. Look at the stats. Yeah, Javier Baez makes the flashy plays every once in a while, but then he gets a crazy error. Yeah, I'd probably rather have Eduardo Escobar right now over Javier Baez. Eduardo Escobar might actually be a better player than Javier Baez. Just because Javier Baez hits a home run every 10 at-bats and he strikes out the other 9 doesn't mean he's a better player than Eduardo Escobar. Eduardo Escobar gets on base. He was an all-star last year. Javier Baez was not an all-star last year. Javier Baez is a two-time all-star. That's not that impressive in my opinion. That's not superstar level yet. It isn't. Eduardo Escobar signed with the New York Mets. So with Max Scherzer, we got a great Dino coming up here. A couple minutes about Max Scherzer and his enormous contract. I'm so happy that the Mets got Max Scherzer. Is this the best rotation in baseball? I know you lost Noah Syndergaard, and I was really upset about losing Noah Syndergaard. But then I found out we're getting Max Scherzer. Oh boy, that's amazing. Okay, I know Max Scherzer wasn't going to get traded to the Mets last offseason at the trade deadline, and I was happy with that because we didn't have to give up anything. Now we get Max Scherzer. Okay, we didn't have to give up any prospects. We didn't have to give up anything. And you might not even re-signed last year. We didn't even make the playoffs last year. New York Mets. I'm very happy that my New York Mets were able to secure Max Scherzer. Maybe the best free agency transaction so far. But Texas Rangers, everybody, they're making moves. This team's going to get 20 wins more next year, and that's being conservative right there. You get Marcus Semien, the best second baseman in baseball. You get Corey Seager, maybe the best shortstop in baseball. In one day, that's amazing. You got them both locked up for the next 20 years pretty much. And just Corey Seager next 10 years, Marcus Semien 10 years, everything like that. Just amazing stuff going on right now with that Texas Rangers franchise. Kevin Gausman going over to the Toronto Blue Jays. Robbie Ray, Cy Young winner this year, going over to the Seattle Mariners. I really don't love that deal, actually. I think Robbie Ray, I think he's going to have a good year next year. But after that, Robbie Ray's in the decline after that, everybody. This is a 5-year, $100 million deal. I know the Mariners, not really a team to ever make moves. They're making moves right now. Tampa Bay Rays, never really a team to make moves, but they secured Wander Franco, their franchise piece in the next couple years. Find that as, you're not going to ever lose Wander Franco now, probably, because, people say, Wander Franco hits free agency, he's going to be one of the biggest free agents of all time, everything like that. And what Tampa Bay Rays aren't going to secure him. Somebody's going to offer him $500 million, $300 million, $400 million, something like that. But no, Wander Franco, stay in Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of stuff going on in the MLB right now. That's about it for the headlines this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, Schoolyard Sports, NFL game day, but let's start with Cowboys Saints Thursday Night Football. I know I just ranted on the Cowboys and the Saints in the last second, but I'm taking the Saints in this one. I'm trusting Taysom Hill. I'm trusting Sean Payton. I'm trusting Alvin Kamara to play in this game. If Alvin Kamara doesn't play in this game, I'm taking the Cowboys to win this one, but I do think Alvin Kamara plays in this game. Give me the Saints on Thursday Night Football over Dallas Cowboys. Chargers Bengals there, but it's going to be a fun one. We got Burrow versus Herbert, the two best quarterbacks from last year's NFL draft. I got something coming up here about that. That's going to be a fun matchup. But give me the Bengals in this one. Chargers. When the Chargers get a big one, everybody. They get a big one. They get a big one over the Steelers. They get a big win over these teams, over the Chiefs. Then the next week, they come out and they just lay it down. They do terrible next week. And that's what happened. They lost against the Broncos. I expect them to lose again this week. Bengals on fire right now after a great win against the Raiders. Great win against the Steelers this week. Give me the Bengals in this one over the Chargers. Now, Washington football team. The Raiders, everybody. Okay, Washington's on a roll right now. So is the Raiders. Give me the Raiders in this one by a field goal. Very, very close. Raiders offense starting to click a little bit here now. Give me the Raiders in this one over Washington. Ravens, Steelers, everybody. Give me the Ravens by 100 if I could. I know it's not going to happen, but give me Ravens 35-7, whatever it might be. Ravens are, last year at this time I was saying Steelers by 100 over the Cowboys. Now it's Ravens, by a lot over the Steelers. Steelers were really good last year. Started out the season 11-0. Now, 5-1, not doing great. It's Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Give me the Ravens this one. Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. Broncos, Chiefs, everybody. It's going to be a defensive battle. And I like what the Chiefs have been doing with Patrick Mahomes these past couple weeks. They're not relying on, he's not throwing 400, 300 yards a game. No, he's throwing 5 touchdowns a game, but they need to. He can. But I think in this one, he throws 191 yards, something simple, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, whatever it might be. Give me the Chiefs in this one, maybe in a defense battle. 17-14, give me the Kansas City Chiefs over Denver Broncos. Last game here, Monday Night Football. We love the Patriots. We love to talk about the Patriots. Oh, what a win that was last week against the Tennessee Titans. And I love this defense of the Patriots, and I love Bill Belichick, and I love Mac Jones. But I'm taking the Bills in this one on Monday Night Football in Buffalo over the New England Patriots. That's about for Schoolyard Sports Rank NFL Game Day. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get that perfect record this week. Now, top 5, everybody. We got the coaching carousel going on in college football right now. So let's rank the top 5 coaches in college football right now. This isn't off of this season, because if it was off this season, Mel Tucker would be out there. Dave Aranda would be up there. Dabo Swinney wouldn't even be in the top 10. But this is the top 5 coaches in college football for, just current college football coaches right now. Let's hop into it. Number 5, Kirby Smart. You can say, whoa, Kirby Smart is the number 1 team in the country. He's been to the playoff before. He's been to the playoff winning Jim Harbaugh, a bunch of these guys. Yeah, Kirby Smart's a good recruiter. He's a good coach. But, let me rephrase that. He's a great recruiter. He's a good coach. He surrounds himself with great coaches. He surrounds himself with great coaches like Todd Monken, a bunch of these guys, these great defensive coordinators. Kirby Smart, past couple of years, has been ridiculed for his clock management, for his play calling, everything like that. Kirby Smart's still one of the top coaches in college football, but not top 3, not top 4. Kirby Smart, 5th best coach in college football. But 4th, we just saw this man move to USC out of Oklahoma. He's been to the playoff many times before. It's Lincoln Riley, everybody. One of the best offensive minds in football, maybe in college football history. Lincoln Riley, one of the most innovative play callers in college football history, one of the best coaches in college football right now. 4th best coach in college football right now, Lincoln Riley. Number 3, and call me biased, say whatever you want, it's Jim Harbaugh. I'm not talking about Jim Harbaugh from 2020, from 2019. I'm talking about the Jim Harbaugh right now. Jim Harbaugh right now, looking like a top 3 coach of college football. Number 3, Jim Harbaugh gets his first win over Ohio State last week. That was just a monumental moment for his coaching career. He's been a great coach of college football for a long time, Jim Harbaugh. Whether it was at Stanford, whether it was at San Diego. Jim Harbaugh at Michigan is a top 3 coach in college football. You can debate me on it. He's a great recruiter. He's a great play caller. He surrounds himself with great coaches, even though he already is a great coach. You can say this is a biased pick and pull out, everything like that. Jim Harbaugh, 3rd best coach in college football. Number 2, Dabo Swinney, everybody. Now you know who number 1 is. You probably knew who number 1 is off the bat. It's Nick Saban. I'm going to say it right there. But Dabo Swinney, one of the best coaches in college football, has been 4 national championships at Clemson, has won 2 of them. Just a great coach. Dabo Swinney, 2nd best coach in college football right now. Dabo Swinney. Number 1, I already said it, Nick Saban. Whether it's at LSU, whether it's at Alabama. He's won national championships where it seems like everywhere. He's great at Michigan State. He won a national championship at LSU. He's won millions of national championships at Alabama. And Nick Saban is just an amazing coach. Number 1 coach in all of college football. You could argue college football history. Football history. Nick Saban, number 1 coach in college football right now, maybe all time. Nick Saban. No bit about. That's about from my top 5 coaches in college football. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. You could say, how is Ryan Day not on this list? How is this coach not on this list? How is Jim Harbaugh so high? Why is Kirby Smart so low? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. That's about for top 5 this week. Now, didn't know, everybody. This week's Didn't Know, it's a good one. I already sneak peeked a little bit about Max Scherzer. Didn't know Max Scherzer's salary, the New York Mets, $43 million over 3 years, which tells that's like $130 million. $43 million a year is higher than 3 MLB teams' annual payroll. That's paying every player in the organization, every player and everything like that. Some teams don't even have to $43 million. Max Scherzer has a higher payroll than 3 MLB teams. Just wild to think about that in sports. I mean, every NBA team, same thing. NFL team, same thing. They all have a salary cap. NHL, same thing. MLB does not have a salary cap. New York Yankees can go out and get whoever they want. Mets can go out and get whoever they want. You didn't think Texas Rangers could, but they did. Rays can't go out and get whoever they want. Pittsburgh Pirates cannot go out and get whoever they want. A bunch of other teams cannot go out and get whoever they want. Brewers can't go out and get whoever they want. They already got their guy, Christian Yelich, and that's pretty much all they got right now. Didn't know that? Leave that in the comment section. That's about for Didn't Know this week. Now, I hate to brag on it, but remember a couple weeks ago when I said, hey, this Cleveland Browns team, they're not making the playoffs this year. And everybody's like, whoa. This team's 5-3. This team's a good team. They're a good team, everything like that. No. This Browns team is not making the playoffs. I said it a couple weeks ago. I'm sticking with it right now. My Browns take was great. The Browns are not making the playoffs this year. You can leave your answer in the comment section. Do you think the Cleveland Browns will make the playoffs this year? My opinion, they won't, and I called it a couple weeks ago. Leave your answer in the comment section. Do you think the Browns will make the playoffs? My answer right now is flat out no. Sorry, Baker Mayfield. Sorry, Kevin Stefanski. Won Coach of the Year last year. Probably didn't deserve it over Ron Rivera, but that's about my Brown Spotlight this week. Brian Kelly, everybody. He's a joke. This is a joke of a move for Brian Kelly going to LSU because the way Brian Kelly recruits, he recruits players who want to go to Notre Dame. Now he's going to have to recruit players who want to go to LSU. He's going to be recruiting in Alabama, all these other great schools. Georgia, Florida is coming up. Billy Napier. This is a joke of a move for Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly doesn't fit the bayou. If I'm a recruit in LSU and in Louisiana, I'm not saying, Brian Kelly, I don't want to go play for this guy. I don't want to go play for LSU. I'm going to go to Alabama. I'm going to go play against Brian Kelly every year. I'm going to go to Florida. I'm going to go to Georgia where I can win a national championship. I'm going to go to USC with Lincoln Riley. I'm going to go anywhere I want. This is a joke of move for Brian Kelly. But I want to throw one name right there who can be the next Notre Dame head coach. It's Sean Payton. You can say, whoa, why would Sean Payton ever leave the New Orleans Saints? He doesn't have a franchise quarterback. He doesn't have a franchise cornerstone wide receiver. Michael Thomas. That guy's done. He has Alvin Kamara, and that's about it. His defense isn't that great. He don't have a franchise quarterback. He can be out of the way in 3 years, Sean Payton. So take the Notre Dame job now. I've heard rumors he may like Notre Dame. He's all this and stuff and that. I know he probably doesn't want to take a college job, but this could be the best decision for Sean Payton right now. Take the Notre Dame job. I know it's wild to say here, but that could be a crazy candidate for this job. Sean Payton to Notre Dame could definitely happen. That's my favorite right now. If I'm Notre Dame AD, I don't know his name, but I'm just calling up Sean Payton right now. I'm calling up the Saints. I'm saying, Sean Payton, come to Notre Dame. Come win a national championship. Come win all this. The more point of this is Brian Kelly. Horrible move, in my opinion. Horrible move. You can convince me on everything. Oh, he wants to win national championship. He got greedy. Got everything like that. That's his choice. Brian Kelly, just not an elite coach in college football, in my opinion. This isn't an elite move. This isn't a good move for Brian Kelly and LSU, in my opinion. That's about my Brian Kelly take. Brian Kelly bouncing out of Notre Dame, going to the Bayou. That's my take on Brian Kelly. Lincoln Riley, everybody, on the other hand, I just ranted on Brian Kelly. But Lincoln Riley, this is a terrific move for Lincoln Riley. This is a terrific move. Okay, he's going from Oklahoma, a small town in Oklahoma. He'd rather be in Norman, Oklahoma. You know, I'm not hating Norman, Oklahoma here, but I'd rather be in Norman, Oklahoma, Los Angeles, where you're recruiting. I mean, Lincoln Riley, he really only recruits players from LA. And it's tougher to recruit them because now you got USC coming up and everything like that. But what if he goes to USC, which he already did? He's going to USC now, where he can recruit those players so easily now. He got Malachi Nelson already committed to. He had Malachi Nelson committed to Oklahoma's number one quarterback recruit in the 2023 class. Now he's gone flipped to USC because he's from LA. He's gone to all these guys. Every single Oklahoma commit seems like he's committed decommitted in the past 48 hours. And they're all going to go to USC. Brandon Innes, number one receiver in the 2023 class, is probably going to end up at USC. All these athletes, all these players are going to end up at USC, in my opinion. This is a great move for Lincoln Riley. Now, in Oklahoma's hands, I want to bring up one thing right here. You're not getting Mark Stoops because he just signed like an 8-year extension with Kentucky. I don't think Bob Stoops is a great permanent move. You know, everyone's saying they're thinking about Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, a reporter asked him, hey, Cliff, what about the Oklahoma job? And Cliff Kingsbury's like, I'm not talking about that right now. If I'm Cliff Kingsbury, if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I want to hear a snap at the reporter, yell at the reporter, and say, no, I'm not going to Oklahoma. Why would I ever leave? Why would I ever go to Oklahoma? If Cliff Kingsbury went to Oklahoma, that would be one of the worst moves possible. Okay, let me say why we're here. He's been head coach before at Texas Tech. Did not do well. Wasn't good in recruiting. Wasn't good in anything like that. Why would you leave Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, a Super Bowl contender, for a rebuild at Oklahoma? That's just a bad move. Cliff Kingsbury not going to go to Oklahoma. Looks like they're going to hire Brent Venables, which is a good move in my opinion, but Oklahoma fans, you got to be ready. Brent Venables is going to bring that defense. You're not going to get that high-powered offense anymore with Brent Venables at the helm. A lot of stuff going on with Oklahoma right now. A lot of stuff going on with Lincoln Riley. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. That's about for my Lincoln Riley take. That's about for my Oklahoma take. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, I want to start a college football showcase right here with saying this right here. My Michigan Wolverines did it. We beat Ohio State. We beat them 42-27. We demolished them. We destroyed them. We beat them on the ground. We beat them through the air. We beat them on defense. We beat them on special teams. We beat them in everything. It was amazing to see my Michigan Wolverines beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. It was great to see Billy Napier get hired by Florida. Let's hop into our top 25 teams in college football right now. Let's go 25-21. 25, Texas A&M. 24, Arkansas. 23, North Carolina State. 22, Louisiana. 21, Houston, everybody. Let's break it down. Houston got a great matchup this week in the AAC championship game against Cincinnati. If they can pull that off, they're probably in the New Year's Six Bowl, whatever it might be. Houston looking pretty good right now. Louisiana looking pretty good. Even though they lost Billy Napier, he's probably not. I think he's going to coach their conference championship game, not their bowl game, which obviously a smart decision. Got signed day coming up a couple weeks with Florida. But Louisiana, not going to be that great in the next couple years. Maybe hire Ed Orgeron. Maybe hire Notre Dame's offense coordinator, Reese, whatever, or Marcus Freeman, defense coordinator. You can hire offense coordinator from Notre Dame, defense coordinator from Notre Dame. Heard a lot of things about those two guys. But Louisiana looking pretty good right now. Texas A&M rough loss to LSU last week. Arkansas good one against Missouri last week. Let's go 20-16 right here. 20 Clemson. 19, Pitt. Number 18, Utah. Number 17, Kentucky. Number 16, San Diego State. By San Diego State with Brady Hoke, I thought he could be a contender for the Oklahoma job, old Michigan coach, but he wasn't. It's going to be Brad Venables probably. Number 17, I got Kentucky. Kentucky's a 9-3 team. If you're 9-3 in the SEC, that shows a lot. You got losses to Tennessee, Georgia, and I'm forgetting the last team, but just a lot of good, great season for Kentucky. Maybe the best season under Mark Stoops. That 2018 season was pretty good. Citrus Bowl win, everything like that. I know they just signed up Mark Stoops for another 8 years, which is a great decision. Yeah, Will Levis coming back next year. Will Levis is a great quarterback. It's a great move for Kentucky. Let's go 15-11 right here. Number 15, Iowa. 14, Wake Forest. 13, BYU. 12, Oklahoma. And number 11, Michigan State. By Michigan State got a great win over Penn State last week. Got a great season, 10-2. Giving them their respect. Michigan State, number 11 right now. After a great win against Penn State. Number 11 team in the country, Michigan State. Oklahoma, tough loss last week to Oklahoma State. BYU moving up 13 after a great pullout win against USC last week. That was a great one for them. Let's go 10-6 right here. 10, Baylor. Number 9, Ohio State. Number 8, Oregon. Number 7, Ole Miss, everybody. All right, we got our top 6 coming up here in a couple minutes, but Ole Miss, the best 2-loss team in the country right now. They are. Ole Miss, number 7, Oregon go up to number 8. I'm putting them over Ohio State. You got the head-to-head. I'll put you over Ohio State. I'm valuing head-to-head a little bit on this episode. I do think Oregon might be the better team over Ohio State. They had a great game plan against Ohio State. They did. They got a great matchup this week coming up against Utah in that Pac-12 championship game, which we're going to pick here in a couple minutes. Let's go our top 6 teams in college football. Number 6, Oklahoma State. Okay, Oklahoma State, you could say, whoa. Why are they number 6? Why aren't they number 5? Why aren't they number 4? Let me say it right here. Oklahoma State, you win your Big 12 championship next week, I'm putting you above Notre Dame. I am. But what I've seen right now, I'm taking Notre Dame over Oklahoma State. Say you have Brian Kelly at the helm, which I know is not going to happen, but just a lot of stuff going on in Notre Dame right now. They're number 5. But Oklahoma State, number 6 team in the country right now. Oklahoma State, number 5, I just said it. Notre Dame, a really, really good team. Without Brian Kelly, with Brian Kelly, I'm putting them at number 5. But say Oklahoma State wins their conference championship. Say Cincinnati wins their conference championship. I think Notre Dame falls out of this top 5, falls out of this top 6, maybe even. Notre Dame, number 5, 5th best team in college football. Notre Dame, number 4, Cincinnati, everybody. I'm putting Cincinnati in my top 4 again. I know I had them in a couple weeks. I've been high on Cincinnati the whole entire season. After week 1, I had Cincinnati as the 4th best team in college football. I had them riding at number 2 for a while. And then I moved them down to 5, moved them down to 6 a couple times. Now I'm moving them back up to 4. It's been just a ride with Cincinnati, my rankings this year. But Cincinnati, 4th best team in college football, got a great game this week. Coming up against a ranked matchup with Houston, which could help them in their college football playoff hopes, whatever it might be. Cincinnati, 4. Number 3, Alabama. Roll Tide, everybody. Got a really ugly win against Auburn. Auburn has 6 wins on the year. You had to come back in the final seconds. You got a quadruple overtime with Auburn. Auburn with TJ Finley hurt. Backup quarterback hurt. 6-6 team in Auburn. And you win by 2 points. You're down by 7 in the final seconds of that game. Yeah, the committee's going to look at that. I'm looking at that. And I'm putting Alabama at number 3. Number 2, my Michigan Wolverines. This is the 2nd best team in the country. This team, my Michigan Wolverines, have a real chance to win a national championship this year. That's no joke. Jim Harbaugh, the 3rd best coach in college football, should win Coach of the Year this year. I saw Mel Tucker won Big Ten Coach of the Year over Jim Harbaugh this week. But that's ridiculous because Michigan State had a better year than Michigan did last year. Jim Harbaugh's improvement of this Michigan team has been phenomenal from last year to this year. Number 2 team in the country after the Ohio State game. That means something. To be the number 2 team in the country after the Ohio State game for Michigan. First time in my life I've been able to see that. Number 2, Michigan. Number 1, as you can all tell, it's Georgia. 1 team in the country, Georgia Bulldogs. No big bet. That's bad for my College Football Showcase Top 25. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Leave your top 25 in the comment section. We got picks of the week coming up here in a second. Stay tuned. Now, College Football Showcase games of the week. It's conference championship week, everybody. Let's all pit to it. Oregon, Utah, Pac-12 championship. It's a neutral site game. I got Utah win this one close. I mean, you beat Oregon 2 weeks ago, 38-7. There's nothing to show me that Oregon's gonna beat them this time. I mean, they could go. I think they're definitely gonna come up closer. I think it's gonna be 31-24, 31-27, 31-30, something like that. It's gonna be a much closer game. But I don't think you win this one. Give me Utah winning the Pac-12, 3 losses on the year. Great season for Utah. Probably going to make the Rose Bowl now. Utah making the Rose Bowl, winning the Pac-12. Now, Michigan, Iowa, the Big Ten championship game. It's at night. I got my Michigan Wolverines big, 45-10. Give me Michigan over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Baylor, Oklahoma State, the Big 12 championship. This could be the biggest conference championship of them all besides Georgia, Alabama. Could definitely, because Baylor win. There's a lot of chaos that happens, and Baylor wins this game. Baylor might make the college football playoff, but Oklahoma State wins this game. They're probably into the college football playoff because they might get it over Cincinnati. They might get it over a 2-loss Alabama, which I think should happen. Oh, give me Oklahoma State in this one, though. Very, very close. Oklahoma State, very, very close over Baylor. They played earlier in the year. Oklahoma State dominated them. I know it was a one-possession game, but Baylor didn't have the lead at all in that game. Oklahoma State dominated them. Give me Oklahoma State very, very close in this one. Let's go 17-14. Oklahoma State over Baylor. Houston, Cincinnati by the AAC championship game. Cincinnati, big. All right, I like this Houston team. I don't like them enough to beat Cincinnati. I don't like them enough to come close to Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati 35-17 over Houston, proving they are a top 4 team in college football. Whether in the college football playoff committee's eyes, they're a top 4 team. Whether they're not, in my eyes, they are. And in my eyes, I think they do make the college football playoff. Give me Cincinnati in this one over Houston. Pitt, Wake, everybody. This is going to be a fun one. Doesn't have that many college football playoff implications, but it does have a lot of New Year's Six Bowl implications on the line here. I'm going to take Wake in this one over Pitt. I know the two great quarterbacks in this one, Sam Hartman and Kenny Pickett, but I do think this defense, Luigi Villano on Wake Forest, great player transfer from Michigan. Christian Turner, great running back for Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest pulls this one out very, very close over Pitt. I'm going to go high scoring in this one. Give me Wake Forest over Pitt. Kenny Pickett plays well. Maybe a costly interception later in the game. Give me Wake Forest in this one over Pitt. Now, the game of the year. I know I said Michigan Ohio State was the game of the year, but Michigan dominated them, never forced that game. This is really the game of the year. We got 1 versus 3. It's going to be a fun matchup. The biggest college football playoff implications game there could be. It is. I think it's going to be a fun one. I saw Bryce Young play pretty well last week on that last drive. I know he didn't play well in the first 3 quarters of that game, first 3.5 quarters of that game, but Bryce Young showed up late in that 4th quarter, won that game for Alabama in overtime and everything like that. A lot of people are picking Georgia to blow out Alabama. And I probably was too, but I'm switching my mind here. I'm taking Georgia extremely close over Alabama. 31-28. Go Bulldogs. Over Georgia. Keep that number 1 seed in the college football playoff. Eliminating Alabama from college football playoff contention. I'm sorry, Bryce Young. I'm sorry, Nick Saban. I'm sorry, John Mechie. I'm sorry, Jameson Williams. You're not making the college football playoff this year. You are just not. Give me Georgia in this one over Alabama Crimson Tide. That's about for College Football Showcase this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, at the buzzer, everybody. This week's at the buzzer. You know, it's a fall. Burrow versus Herbert, everybody. We got that matchup this week. We got the Bengals versus the Chargers. We had a week 1 last week, but that's Burrow's first game ever. Justin Herbert didn't even take a snap in that game. Okay, this can be a fun one. We've seen the first year and a half of these players' career. Who am I taking right now? If I had to take right now, for the next 20 years of my franchise, to be my starting quarterback, I would take Joe Burrow. I've said it for a long time, before the draft, after last season, before this season, midway through this season. I'm taking Herbert the whole way. I'm switching my mind. It's Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. He's clutch. He's got ice in his veins. Joe Burrow. I'm taking him as my next quarterback for the next 15 years over Justin Herbert. 2 elite quarterbacks. You'd be lucky to get any of them. Justin Herbert, an amazing quarterback. Joe Burrow, just a little bit better. Also amazing. 2 great, fantastic quarterbacks. That's bad for At the Buzz this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, question day, everybody. This week's question day is, who won MLB free agency, everybody? Was it the Rangers? Was it the Mets? Was it somebody else? Definitely not the Yankees. Could be the Mariners. Could be the Blue Jays. Leave your answer in the comment section. Who won MLB free agency this year? Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about for question day this week. That's about for Squared Sports Lane Frank, episode 59. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Squared Sports Instagram at Squared Sports. Follow Squared Sports on Twitter at Squared Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here next week, episode number 60. Stay tuned.